Varanasi can be a bit overwhelming for first time visitors. There are so many spiritually significant places in this sacred city. Now, for a few days, I wandered around and came up with my own Varanasi walking tour along the ghats. Today, I wanted to visit Sri Samrajeshwar Pashupatinath Mahadev Mandir, that is famously known as the Nepali Mandir. I was in Varanasi for quite a long time, and I am so glad that I did it because you will realize that there are so many places to explore that just 3-4 days is not enough. But of course, if you are tight on your schedule, then what you can do is you can go for 3-4 days and visit the main places and main mandirs. Anyway, Kashi will leave you craving for more. So once you have seen the beauty and tasted the life in Kashi, you will keep returning to this place again and again. There is something so mesmerizing about these ghats. You can actually feel that Mahadev himself was here, his presence is there, and so many enlightened beings have walked these ghats. You just don't feel like stopping. I could walk for hours and hours and not stop. Before I reached the Nepali temple, I met these two very cute kids who were so happy about my YouTube channel.
हाँ, हम लोग ना काशी के वासी हैं। हम लोग का घर मीर घाट धर्मकुप पे पड़ता है। आप लोग दीदी के सब्सक्राइबर एंड लाइक कमेंट जरूर करिएगा। हम लोग को आज अंग्रेज ना रुपीस दिया है, पैसों दिया है और अरब कुछ दिया है। तो अगर आप लोग को इसके बारे में पता होगा तो कमेंट करके जरूर बताइएगा कि कितने का है। आप लोग दीदी को लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब एंड शेयर कर दीजिएगा।
Those kids just saw me filming and they were more excited about my YouTube channel than I am, and they started promoting it. How sweet of them. Finally, I could see the Nepali temple after walking a lot. It is also known as Katwala Mandir and Mini Khajuraho. Katwala in Hindi means wooden. It is one of the oldest and most famous temple in the holy city of Kashi. This was constructed in the 19th century AD by the king of Nepal, Rana Bahadur Shah. The temple is made of terracotta stone and wood and is replica of the Pashupatinath temple in Kathmandu. The king of Nepal, Rana Bahadur Shah, took exile in Varanasi from 1800 to 1804 and titled himself as Swami Nirgunananda. During his exile, he decided to build a replica of Pashupatinath temple in Varanasi. The mandir is made up of terracotta, stone and wood, and it took 3 decades to complete. The wood is termite proof. It is constructed in Nepali style of architecture and is surrounded by tamarind and peepal trees. The temple has pagoda style architecture, mainly carved out of wood. It has sculptures similar to the ones in Khajuraho group of monuments, and hence it is also called Mini Khajuraho. Construction of this temple commenced during the exile of the king in Varanasi. During the construction, Shah moved back to Nepal. In 1806, unfortunately, Rana Bahadur Shah was stabbed to death by his stepbrothers. His son Girvan Yuddhabikram Shahadev completed the project 20 years after the deadline. The land was later transferred to Rana Bahadur Shah by Kashi Naresh in the year 1843. The temple, adjacent area, Lalita Ghat and a dharmshala belongs to the Nepal government. I truly don't know whether this place is always this quiet because Kashi is filled with devotees, tourists, people who come to just explore the city. But this temple was truly a fantastic spot to just sit and meditate. The silence, serenity, and solitude is exactly what I needed at that moment to be in a very deep meditative space. And not just that, the view from this place is absolutely breathtaking. And this is the best spot to sit and contemplate about life and beyond. The contrast of life and death. That's what Kashi is. Let me show you the view that I was getting from this spot. Manikarnika Ghat. There I could see bodies being burned in Manikarnika Ghat. There were people who were here to just explore, to offer their worship in temples, and whatnot. Look at this, everybody in their own space doing their own thing, life and death, holding hands and walking side by side. A strong sense of vairagya was overpowering every cell in my body. After spending some time there, I decided to leave for Matri Rin Mahadev Temple, famously known as the Ratneshwar Mahadev Temple. This temple is mostly famous for its 9-degree slant. It was built by Amandev. The temple is elegantly constructed in the classical style with a Nagara Shikhar and Samvarna Mandap. The site of the temple is very unusual. Unlike all other temples in Varanasi on the banks of Ganga, this temple is built at a very low level. In fact, the water level reaches the Shikhar part of the temple. Its Griha Garbh is generally below the water much of the year. The Ratneshwar Mahadev temple is situated at Manikarnika Ghat. The builder must have known that the Griha Garbh would be underwater much of the year. In spite of that, the temple being underwater during most of the year, it is well preserved except for the lean that can be noted in 20th century photos. I would say that I was extremely lucky because I could see the Griha Garbh, and here is the video of the Griha Garbh that even you can see now. The temple is also known as Kashi Karvat. Kashi is the ancient name for Varanasi and Karvat means leaning in Hindi. The actual time of construction of this temple is unknown. However, the priests claim it was built by an unknown servant of Raja Man Singh for his mother Ratnabai about 500 years ago. Some sources claim that it was built by Queen Baijabai of Gwalior in the 19th century. According to another story, it was built by a female servant of Ahalyabai of Indore named Ratnabai. Ahalyabai cursed that the lean would be there because her servant had named it after her. A lightning strike in 2015 caused slight damage to some of the elements of the Shikhar. But the temple stands there with her raw beauty. Har Har Mahadev.